Hi, kindergarten scholars. We're reading a brand new story today, and what we're going to be focusing on is comprehension. And so, comprehension is understanding the story. And so, today, instead of working on things like stretch it out or cross checking, we're going to be really focusing on what the story was about and understanding it. So, things that can help us understand the story are story elements. So if you think, we learned about those way far back towards the beginning of the year. So there are 4 story elements we learned about. The first one is characters. So I want you to try and think right now, what was a character? How did we figure out who the characters were? The characters are people, animals, and objects that talk. Characters are people, animals, objects that talk. And so we're going to be looking for people, animals, or objects that are talking in the story, and those are characters. We're also going to be looking for the setting. The setting is where the story takes place. So what place does it take place in? That was a silly sentence. So if the book is about the library, then the setting is the library, because that's where the story is happening. And then the third story element is the problem. So a problem is what the character wants or what the character needs. So we need to figure out, what does the character want or what does the character need? And then when we know what they want or they need, we're going to have to see how they solved their problem. How did they get what they wanted, or how did they get what they needed? So today, we're going to be looking for characters, setting, problem, and solution to help us understand the story. So our story today is called Eat Like a Pig. And your job is just to listen to Miss Music read the story, and then we're going to understand it together. So just listen. Pig and Poodle were hungry. They made a nice dinner. Pig and Poodle sat. Pig put the napkin on his lap. Poodle put the napkin on his neck. So here's his napkin on his lap, and the poodle put his napkin around his neck. Pig and Poodle ate. Pig used his fork. So here's Pig using his fork to eat. Poodle used his paws. So just like people eat with their hands, like a hamburger or french fries, the poodle's eating with his hands. And if we notice their face, I think it's giving us some clues to help us understand the story. So if we look at his face in the picture, Pig is like this. And Poodle is just smiling, happy. So I think Pig might be a little nervous or a little disgusted. You're going to have to keep reading to really figure it out. But those are good clues to notice. Pig and Poodle drank. Pig sipped. Poodle slurped. So here's Pig. He's just taking a small sip of his, looks like orange juice. And Pig is like this. Like he looks a little annoyed. And then Poodle is like just drinking all of the orange juice in one big gulp. Pig and Poodle talked. Pig chewed before he talked. That means he chewed all of his food before he started talking. Poodle chewed while he talked. And if you look in the picture, there's food flying out of his mouth because he's talking with all the food in it. Now, in this picture, Poodle still looks happy, like Poodle's looked in the other pictures. But Pig now, he looks angry because his eyebrows are like pointing down. He looks angry. Pig and Poodle had dessert. Pig said, "Please pass the pie." Wow, he used the word please. That's so nice. Poodle grabbed the biggest pie piece. So Poodle just snatched it up. So now if we look at the picture, Poodle looks hungry because he's like, "I really want that piece of pie." And then Pig, he's grunting. He's showing his teeth like this. He's like, "Grr." So he must be really angry now. Before he was just kind of like, "Ooh, what's going on?" And now he's angry. Pig and Poodle finished eating. Pig wiped his mouth with the napkin. Poodle wiped his mouth with his paws. So they seem to be doing everything differently. Pig and Poodle got up from the table. Pig took the dishes to the sink. Oh, so Pig was going to clean up. Poodle took a nap on the floor. Oh no. So Pig's cleaning up all of the food they ate, and Poodle's just taking a nap. I don't think they're working together, that's for sure. The next day, Pig sat Poodle down. So they're sitting together on the couch, and they talked about manners. That's really cool. So I noticed in those pictures that Pig was getting pretty angry with Poodle and the way he was eating. And so instead of just being mad at him and being like, "I don't want to be your friend anymore," he was like, "Poodle, can we talk about how we eat and find a better way?" That's really nice. That's a really good thing to do with people that you care about and your friends, is to just talk to them about how to be better friends or how to be better at your relationship, is to talk. That's really nice instead of just getting mad. That was a really good thing to do. Ooh, so let's see what happens. Pig and Poodle had another nice dinner. Ooh, so they're trying to eat again. This time, Poodle used good table manners. Ooh, I notice a change already. I notice that Poodle is using a fork, and I don't see a napkin wrapped around her neck anymore. And they both are smiling. Look, I'm eating like a pig, Poodle said. So she must be proud that they changed their manners. The end. So now we need to use all of the things we learned from our story and understand it. So first, we need to go back to the beginning, and we need to figure out who the characters are in the story. So we're back at the beginning. So who are the characters? Who are the people, the animals, or the objects that talk? Who are the characters? Yeah, the characters are Pig and Poodle. Nice job. So those are the characters. Now we need to understand, where is this story taking place? What's the setting? So where is the story happening? Yeah, so the story happened, we could say, in a house. The story happened in the kitchen, because they made the food and here's a table. Or in the dining room, or at home, or at a house, or at an apartment. But we could just say at the table. The story took place at the table because that's where they were eating. So now we need to think, what was the problem in the story? So what's something a character wanted or a character needed? So did Poodle have any problems? Was Poodle sad or angry or upset or nervous at any point in the story? No. So that character didn't want or need anything. But what about Pig? Did Pig want or need something? Did something make him angry or sad or upset? Yeah, the pig wanted Poodle to use better table manners, right? Made him really angry when Poodle was doing things. Let's look back through the pictures. It made Pig angry when, instead of putting the napkin in your lap, he put it around his neck. And he didn't like that Poodle wasn't using a fork. And he didn't like that Poodle was just slurping down all the juice at once. And it looks like he was getting juice everywhere. So he was making a mess. And he got food all over Pig because he was talking with food in his mouth. And Pig didn't like that he just took a piece of pie, even though Pig asked to please pass the pie. And then he wiped his food on his paw instead of on a napkin. So Pig just didn't like the way Poodle ate at all. So he wanted Poodle to use manners. That's what the character wanted. He wanted Poodle to use manners. And the solution, remember, he was a really good friend. And instead of just getting angry, he had a talk with Poodle. That was a really, really smart and kind thing to do. So he sat down with Poodle and said, hey, let's practice our table manners together so we can both get better. And so they got better, and they were both happy afterwards because they worked together like a team. So the solution was to talk about using good manners and use different ones. So now that we understood the story, because we know who the characters are, we know the setting, we know the problem and solution, I'm going to ask you a really, really challenging first grade question. I want to know, how did the characters change? So we have to think all the way back to the beginning of the story. Here they're both happy. So how did the characters change from the beginning of the story to the end of the story? So take a few minutes and think about how they changed. So if we think about it, at the beginning of our story, Pig was very upset. Remember, he did not like the way Poodle was eating. Pig looked disgusted for a while. He looked confused. He looked angry. So he was very upset. And then, after he sat down and had his talk with Poodle, he was happy. So he changed from being upset to being happy. And the Poodle changed too. So now I want you to think, how did Poodle change? Poodle changed because at the beginning of the story, Poodle was happy, but Poodle did not have good manners. And by the end of the story, Poodle was using good manners. So both characters changed, even though they changed in different ways. Because we've worked super hard today on comprehension, I think we should do a super special cheer. I think we should do the cupcake cheer. So cupcakes up. 1, 2, munch, munch, sprinkles. Bye.